Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So there we have it. Atlanta Falcon has announced their new defensive coordinator for this upcoming season. Ryan Nielsen, co-defensive coordinator / defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints. Right? All right, guys. So we're going to get into it real quick and talk about it. Probably not the name that a lot of people probably was expecting to hear. However, I still think it's a good hire, and we're going to talk about that right now. A little bit under the radar for me, but like I said, I think still was a good hire. We'll talk about that. So, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, Ryan Nielsen, guy who played at the University of Southern California, actually was in college, he coached in college for many of years, from like 2005 to 2016. He actually came to the New Orleans Saints back in 2017. So from 2017 to now, he was actually defensive line coach, and in 2021, he actually became the assistant head coach and the assistant defensive coordinator, and continue to maintain that defensive line coach as well. So, like I said, a lot of experience. With this hire, to me, I really believe that it's really an emphasis on trying to be able to generate pressure and generate some kind of status with our defensive line. This just speaks volumes about this hire. I think it's really big, and we're going to talk about some of the numbers in just a minute. Also, of course, when you actually hire a new coach, he's going to definitely bring some of his staff, which means some of the other guys are definitely going to be out the door. So with the announcement of Ryan Nielsen coming in, Gary Emanuel, the defensive line coach, Ted Monachino, the offensive linebacker coach, outside linebacker coach, and John Hogarth, secondary coach, actually has been released from the Atlanta Falcons. So definitely Ryan Nielsen probably going to bring his own people in there. As soon as we get those names, we'll definitely let you know about that. All right, but let me get to the reason why I think this is right here is a real good hire, because one of the weaknesses for the Atlanta Falcons is being a defensive line for many years, not being able to, stop the run. It was a lot better this year stopping the run, but getting after the quarterback, definitely one of the issues that we definitely really had. But if you just go look over this time span while Ryan Nielsen was the defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints, guys, during that span, he was a defensive line coach. The New Orleans Saints had 281 sacks. That's second to any other NFL team during that time span. So just think about that. That was second during that time span. 281 sacks. Also, guys, they was top 10 out of 5 or 6 years. Top 10 out of 5 or 6 years in sacks. That speaks volumes. That's really hits to the heart of what the Falcons issue been for so many years. 281 sacks, second overall during that time span, and top 10 in sacks over the last 5 of the last 6 years. That's really will get to what the Falcons' biggest issues, right? Just got to think about it. It really gets to the Falcons' biggest issues. All right. Also, in 55 games during that time, they actually did not allow a 100-yard rusher. Listen to what I'm saying. 55 games during that time. That's almost 4 or 5 seasons worth of games, and they didn't allow a 100-yard rusher. That's impressive. That's really impressive. And you go look at some of the Saints defensive players. It's really not a huge big name guys on that defensive line. Yes, you got Cameron Jordan, guy who stands out, but other than that, who can you actually go down the line and say who was like a all pro guy that they had? So that speaks volume to the coaching there. It really does. This season alone, they was ninth in the league in scoring, and over the last 6 games, they only gave up 13 points a game. So that speaks to the volume of the defense. How much we hate the New Orleans Saints. One thing that we always talked about were their defense, right? Their defense really was solid, especially in these last couple of years, right? So we really got to tip your hat off to their defense. Even though I, despise that team, but if we can, limit them by taking some of their people and bringing them to the Atlanta Falcons to help the Atlanta Falcons out, that's really good, right? The relationships for this, of course, Terry Fontenot coming from the New Orleans Saints. Also, Ryan Pace has ties with Ryan Nielsen as well. So, like we said, it's always about relationships. But I think bigger than relationship, I think what Arthur Smith is really trying to get at, and I really believe that's trying to be able to create a dominant defensive line with the front four guys, not just the secondary, with the front four. We can talk about the secondary. They actually had great guys. In my opinion, a little grabby, in the secondary and things like that. However, it really was successful. Like I said, the numbers don't lie during that time span. 281 sacks, 55 games, no 100-yard rusher, ninth in scoring this season alone. Those numbers really speaks to what we want, what the Atlanta Falcons is really trying to get at. And if Ryan Nielsen can bring that kind of defense to the Atlanta Falcons with our offense going in the right direction as well, I really think this really going to be a big hire for us. So, guys, I really want to know what you guys think about Ryan Nielsen. Do you think that this hire is going to work out for us? Are you really disappointed that they didn't, bring in one of those big name guys like a Vic Fangio, like a Brian Flores, or some of the other guys that I thought they definitely could bring in? This really a sneaky good hire for the Atlanta Falcons, because like I said, if you're looking at the numbers and you're looking at where he actually coached and you look at the production from that group from the New Orleans Saints, it speaks to what the Atlanta Falcons really trying to get at. Right, guys? We talked about the trenches. We talked about the trenches so long, and I really believe that this is one of the things that can help the Atlanta Falcons and propel us to be to where we want to be. Now he can come in. Things we can talk about is definitely come in and help the Atlanta Falcons pick the right players to come in to help build the defense that he want to have. With him and Arthur Smith's vision, that's definitely something. So I'm glad that they was able to get their hire in, for he can hit the ground, start running, and actually build. I'm so interested to see what he's going to be able to do with Grady Jarrett and a guy like Taquan Graham. Is that relationship is going to bring some, hate to say it, some former Saints who might not get re-signed to the Atlanta this offseason as well. Like I said, guys, it's all about relationships. And if they leave the Saints and come to the Falcons, guess what? They a Falcon then. I guess I have to get on board. We definitely got on board with Terry Fontenot when he got here, and he's been doing an excellent job. So I'm really excited about this. Not the hire that I thought they was going to get, but I'm really pleasantly pleased with what they was able to do with this hire. If he could bring this production that I mentioned to the Atlanta Falcons on the defense, especially from the defensive line standpoint, I think it's going to speak volumes to what the Atlanta Falcons can do moving forward. So, guys, let me know what you think about Ryan Nielsen. Are you happy? Are you sad? What you think he's going to be able to do with this defense? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.